Hey, how's it going? So a bit of a more rant video. I was going to do a vlog on update on my family situation, of what there is to update. Things are a bit more subdued than they were. Sam's still doing stuff, but what he's doing is reduced. I'm not sure if one of my parents got through to him somehow, but for a few days now he's not been blocking garden gate with bin bags and piling up shoes, but he's still doing stuff in the house other than that, here and there. It's just not as many things, it's like 2 or 3 things. So my stress levels have gone down. I've got less of a nervous stomach at the moment. I'm able to do a bit more things with more freedom and less of a sick feeling in my stomach and an overriding stress that hits me in the stomach and makes it very difficult to do things. So there's less of that now. Yeah, it's not that he stopped doing things, and it's not that he doesn't want to do things to me. I think it's just that he's been told by someone, or maybe he's been told by both of them on some different occasion from each other, not to do the thing. And yeah, for the moment he's stopped doing most of it, which still doesn't mean that he doesn't want to and that he doesn't have control of the house through force, which goes on to a future where my parents are old, and when they finally go, I think the inheritance is to try and split this house between us, but in reality what that turns out looking like is that Sam gets the house, because of how he behaves, and there's no limiting force on him. Sam would get the house, and then because the place he works wouldn't exist and they don't job hunt, they wouldn't be able to pay bills anymore at a certain point, and they'd be kicked out of the house by the repossessor people. What was it called? Bailiffs. But I'd be already out of the house by then, so I'd be already homeless because Sam would kick me out. But that's why I don't want the house to be divided between us in the deeds or anything. I just want whatever money is proportionate to my share of the house, just give me the money, and I'd try and do what I'm doing now, which is very difficult and near impossible, which is finding a job and finding a flat or a place to live. I'm going for walks with Dad still. You may have noticed that. He seemed, I don't know, he's half and half caring about the shit that Sam does to me and not caring at all about the shit that Sam does to me. I don't know why I'm going for walks with him, other than he can get further into the moor if he wants to walk than if I were to try and do it myself on the buses and do long walks from the buses. But he still did what he did, and the reason that I'm not flat hunting now, that I'm job hunting instead, is because he forced me out of the shop by making the heat so excessive at all times of year that it was impossible to work there, and not finding a compromise when I asked for it. In fact, not even communicating at all, just saying, get out if you don't like it this temperature. So he's still done that to me. He's still a huge part of why I'm in this position right now. But like I said, my parents are old. My dad, who runs our little family whole food business, where we've now shut down one shop and it's only one shop remaining, never divulged or made transparent the details of how he ran the business. So basically, once he passes away, capers will pass with him, because none of us will know how to keep it running, essentially, because it was never told to us by Dad. He's holding things back from us, basically, so we can't actually keep it going in his stead once he's gone. And that's always been the case. That was part of the problem with why my Larkfield business failed, was he held details back right up to the end, and then he just said, "I'm not helping you anymore," and I never got the final details necessary to help me know how to run the business I wanted to run, which was similar to my family's business. And the accounting business local to us wouldn't help me either, so it just collapsed at that point. And I think that that's a big reason why Natalie left me. So, I mean, that and peer pressure from people around her. But the Larkfield thing was ages ago. Now it was 2019, so a lot of crazy bullshit's happened since then. Oh, it's getting sunny. I have no suntan lotion on. I put this silly sun hat on that has the string. Not that it's windy, so I don't think this will blow off right now. And yeah, we're in a completely different situation right now. There seems to be phases of my life happening. We've moved from the extreme stress phase of Sam doing everything to me to a subdued phase now where he's doing less to me, and other problems in the background that were secondary priority to what he was doing have now risen back up again, like the job situation. Starting to run out of places to apply to in my local area, so I'm starting to reapply to places I've already applied to 2 months ago. There's a lot more places to apply to in the cities, but the cities are crazy and extremely controlled environments, and of course last time I was in one applying, didn't really find much in the way of work there, even though I applied to like over 100 businesses. Oh, I got people. Oh, it's hella hot when the sun comes out. Makes me think I should have brought my tarp up here to do a tarp test thing, because it's still actually, I've come up the hill a bit and it's not that windy. I can see the heat haze just rippling past the grass. But when a cloud comes over, it's alright. And there are quite big clouds around. This is the kind of situation we've got here. I think that's more like 60% cloud cover, maybe more. But when the sun gets through, it is very hot. I want to talk about America, travel to America being made free to the unvaccinated, because that's something recent that happened, but I think this is the wrong sort of vlog for that, unless I start making a different vlog in the same place with the same clothes, which means in the edit it's hard for me to figure out which subjects are for which video, unless I keep changing clothes or something. But yeah, situation's still pretty harsh, and now because the domestic situation has become lesser, de-amplified, whatever the term for that is, turn the volume down on that, you start to hear, you know, all the far left insanity that's going on in the backdrop that I was fighting against before, which is partly the reason why I'm not being accepted for jobs, is the far left thing, because I'm male and white and older and not a socialist. So I think people look at my CV, I think a lot of people look at my CV and go, oh, a gamer who makes videos, and they have experience, they just work for their family, so, you know, weird thoughts enter their head about families, because far left are against family stuff, and have views on gamers, and they're racist against white people as well as other skin colours. So it's just like an obstacle that's against me is part of the far left stuff. Also, you know, I'm not going to apply at Tesco, I'm not going to apply at Waitrose. You walk past Waitrose in June, they've got that giant communist flag in the window, neo-Marxist, the intersectional flag, which is just Marxism. It's like a BLM. It might as well just put a BLM fist in the window, or have some Antifa posted outside the door or something. The same bullshit. Essentially fascism as well, because the government, you know, exudes that too on purpose, and the big corporations follow suit. But I haven't had that from Morrison's when I was there doing interviews, and I didn't get that feeling from Lidl either when I was there doing interviews, so It's like some of the big supermarkets do it, some of the other supermarkets I think are low key and realise they've got to broad appeal to like the right wing, the centre. I don't know if they know the centre exists, but the right trad people as well as the left, in order to sell more goods, so they'll be more successful in the long run than people like Waitrose and Tesco. So that's why there are certain businesses I just won't apply at, because I know they're far left. Normally it's an obvious sign if you go into a place and they've got the intersectional flag in there. Outside June definitely, inside June probably, because June is that Pride Month thing, and that's where they like spew the far left ideology across the landscape the most. All the corporations change their banners to rainbows and stuff, and I'm bi, and that flag will never stand for me because I know what it is now. You don't need collectivist groups to be what you are anyway, so I'm bi, but I'm unlucky in love, so it doesn't matter. I think my bisexuality would actually mean something if I was actually if there was less of this far left stuff around, because then there'd be more, people getting together with each other and stuff. There'd be more choice of relationships, there'd be more people interested in relationships, and less people with wild, insane mindsets when it comes to partnering up. Yeah, so it doesn't mean too much that I am that, because I'm not going to get anything anyway. I've had like 4 major loves in my life, all of them girls. And when I'm bisexual, it's like, it's not 50-50 split either, it is more in favour of girls, but I can't deny that I'm attracted to men too. I mean, if I was straight, I surely wouldn't have the feelings that I'm attracted to men as well as women, so I can't say that I'm straight, and I can't say that I'm 50% for girls and 50% for boys while I'm bi either. But everything in life is nuance and subtlety and all that. Every person's very different, except the collectivists who all want to be the same and they want to make the world all the same as what they think. Individualism is the reality and the good thing about people. If you can make them less alike each other and less unified, more divided actually, the better, because everyone's an individual. Everyone should be an individual, everyone should be unique, and people shouldn't be grouping up into permanent groups and selling away their identity to the group. That's standard. I've talked about this shit before. Look at Smeared and Down, standing out really nicely like a top of a globe in the light right now. Talking about family stuff, Alfie, who is a bit like my real brother right now, is good. He's not got hit by any cars yet, but I've seen him walk across the road. Like, I've been outside our garden, and I know now that he goes outside our garden on the roadside, and occasionally he will be walking across the road, and he'll be walking slowly, and then some traffic will come. They'll see him, luckily, because they're going slow at the time. Alfie will see me when he's halfway across the road, because I'm in the area. He'll look at me and he'll stop in the middle of the road, and then the traffic will slow down, and he'll think that the cars are meant to slow down for him, and that's what'll happen. If the fucking cars just beat their horns and made him terrified of them, then there'd be no problem. The more terrified your cat is of cars, the better, because then they will grow to fear roads and they'll grow to fear cars and they won't go near them. But if your cat is not afraid of cars, because they just slowly stop for him all the time and like don't beep their horns and don't make noise, and then when they actually come through at high speed because they can't see him, he's just gonna walk slowly across the road and stand there in the middle of the road thinking the cars are meant to stop for him, and he'll get killed, just like Misha got killed. So I still think that he might die in a traffic accident like Misha did. And it makes me think that Remy was so lucky that we had her for 13 years and she didn't get killed in a road traffic accident. But she was bright white. she did stand out more than Alfie and Misha. And Alfie, having his light orange coat, he does stand out a lot. Not as much as Remy, but definitely a lot more than Misha, who was camouflage in a lot of situations because she's had a dark grey coat. So on that foggy night, she would have blended into the road, she would have blended into the fog, and the driver would have not seen her very easily. When the driver killed her, chucked her body in a fucking bush. Anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah. So that's where we are with my family. Oh, I should say Mum, I guess. Mum hasn't, renounced what she said. She might have told Sam not to pile the bin bags up in front of the gate to stop me going through and all that. But actually, she told him to stop doing stuff, but after she said that to me, she went away for a few days and he just kept doing the stuff that she told him not to do. So, he has power over her, definitely, and will ignore her. So maybe it's that Dad told him, I don't know. She did not ever renounce what she said about being pro-violence in the family. So, we don't talk as much because, she's always been a ball of rage, had terrible anger management issues, never been able to stop herself getting angry, always constantly misunderstanding what people are saying, constantly reading into people's expressions as if they had said something and then acting as if they did say something to her in the worst way possible. She's just doing that all the time. But the worst thing is me finding out that she was just pro-violence, and she said oh, it's fine, my sisters hit each other when we were young, so it's get over yourself, it's fine. You should be fine with people punching you or attacking you or assaulting you within a family situation. You should be fine with violence in the house, with domestic abuse. It was on 3 occasions she said that, and after the 3rd time you kind of take them seriously, you take them at their word that they are pro-violence. You give them a chance after they've said it once or twice. Maybe you give them a chance to go, well, maybe they don't mean that, maybe they weren't actually saying that. But after 3 times it's you kind of have to think that that's exactly what they're saying and that's what they mean. So that's what she means, she's pro-violence in the house. And what she actually means is she's pro-violence from Sam to me, because if the violence was happening to her from Dad or to her from Sam, then she'd suddenly be anti-violence in the house, I think. But because it's just happening between her sons, she's going to let it slide and let it be fine. So that's what's going on with my mum anyway. And that's what's going on with my family. It's subdued. I wouldn't put it past Sam that he'd stop doing the things he'd done. He's not going to stop doing the things he's done. He's going to amplify. He's going to especially amplify in the winter, because that's when he amplifies the most. As soon as the air gets cold, he messes with windows and doors and just gets more aggressive with us, with me. With us, I say with us, he does things that are particularly against Dad because he smokes, and he does stuff against me because every breath I take is an insult to him and he wishes I was dead. Is that a Chinook over there? It might be coming our way, actually. Yeah, I think it is. It's flying really low, actually. It's flying in front of Smid and down. Anyway guys, that's an update on my family sitch. I will post a meme here I found, kind of relating to this. Something like, it's not trauma dumping, I'm just telling you the law, okay? There's a thin line between pessimism and realism. Getting black-pilled is just getting depressed, You get depressed because things happen to you. I don't believe those idiots who go, happiness is a choice. Happiness is not a choice. That's just being disingenuous and fake in your life, putting on a fake smile and stuff. They're like, oh, you put on a fake smile, it becomes a real smile. No, I don't believe that for an instant. You put on a fake smile, that's a fake smile the entire time. You only are provoked into a real smile by good things happening. Happiness is not a choice. Happiness is an effect of a cause. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. All those live, love, laughers, like, you go in a gift shop, like on Bath High Street, and have a look in, it's like pillows going like, love, laughter, life, and all these little mottos, like, for housewives to try and feel good about their lives. Normie shit as fuck. Anyway, I'm not into that. I don't know if you can tell. Realism is realism. Being being genuine and not putting on a fake smile is important. Like, if you're sad, express your sadness. If you're happy, express your happy. I realise you can't do that in a situation like retail very well. I tried as well as I could when I was working in our more north shop, which is now shut down. But it's not me, you know. I like the genuine expression. I mean, I can put it on for the job, like fake smiles and all that, but it's not right. It's not how we should be. It's just a way of making money from the dumb, and to that end, you know, I'll fake it for that purpose, but it's not how any of us should be living, you know. When you're happy, it should be because of a cause, not because you forced yourself to look happy when things are fucking terrible. When things are fucking terrible, I empathise with people who are depressed because they have reason to be. Yeah. Anyway, that wraps up this more rant, I think. Thanks for watching, guys.